My name is Genoa Barrow, and I am the senior staff writer for the Sacramento Observer. I have worked for the Observer for 23 years, and over the years, I have covered some of everything. But of course, I've covered Juneteenth in the paper for a number of years, local events, historians, and the like. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, Oakland to be exact, the home of the Black Panthers. So, sort of knowing, who we are and, standing up for ourselves was ingrained in me from a young age. And in the Bay Area, Juneteenth was something that was celebrated. Summer came. Juneteenth was sort of synonymous with summer, just like the 4th of July. But still been a number of years waiting for it to be recognized as it is now. We asked several people a number of questions related to Juneteenth. What does freedom mean in 2022?
Freedom to me means being secure, feeling safe in anywhere you are, whatever you do. Right now, we are so tentative. We're scared to step out of our door. My friends are scared to go to the grocery store. That's not freedom when you can't even go to a festival without worrying about getting shot. Or like driving down south, you cannot feel safe and secure because the popo can roll up on you and make you disappear like that. I got stopped by the cops in Maryland one time, and as soon as I saw that light, my heart started boop, 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 boop. And I had a guitar in the back of my car, and he said that's why he stopped me. He thought it was a gun.
To me, or to the community in general, freedom to me would mean that I would have access to things everybody else have access. Because while we arguing about whether or not I should be a slave, the people that are probably working down in that state capital, particularly black people, I'm quite sure that when he was running for that position, they didn't think that what part of that position would be enslaving me. And I was a slave of the state. I just wasn't privately owned, I was publicly owned. And at the same time, I think that when we was fighting for the opportunity to actually have a job and we was banned in the box, the people that were sitting there making the decisions whether we should do it or not didn't necessarily think that I was paying taxes and they were actually existing on dollars that they was extracting from me. So at a certain point, when do I actually step up and say that, enough is enough? And at a certain point, when do I raise the issue of whether or not my conditions and me being incarcerated and me being enslaved didn't have an impact on my community?
That is a good question. What does freedom mean in 2022? Freedom means that you have the ability to do what you need to do and to use your voice as you want to. But it also means that you have the responsibility to make sure that freedom remains. And so I think a lot of times we sit around and we look at all of the things that we have in this country, because we are a democratic country, and we forget that there were people who fought and died and bled to get us to where we are today. And we also forget that there are some people, a very small fraction, that would like to take some of those freedoms away. And so it is our responsibility, not only for ourselves, but for our future generations, to continue to make sure that we are utilizing our freedom, that we are utilizing our voice, that we are utilizing our positions to make sure that we continue to have a democratic state, a democratic nation, one that values all people and all voices and really values freedom for all. And so when you have a lot responsibility comes with that as well. And so we need to recognize that with our freedom comes the responsibility to make sure that people continue to have it in the future.
It means that we face up to the truth that African diasporic people, dark-skinned Black people, other groups of people have never been free. I'll know when I'm free when I don't have to walk down the street, for the most part, worrying about someone driving by shooting me because I'm Black, or I am not getting the threats that I get as a result of the work that I do and feel like I'm in danger because I am a Black woman or a dark-skinned person, that I am able to go into stores and be able to shop without being followed or looked upon suspiciously because of who I am, where I am not being arrested and stopped by the police in our criminal justice system just because I have darker skin, and dying in many cases as a result of that for small infractions or no infractions at all, just moving while Black. When we are able to get loans to support Black businesses without going through all these obstacles and hoops and discrimination.
2022.
Well, what does freedom mean? I think freeing your mind is the deal. I mean, educating yourself. I mean, I also teach school, you know what I mean? And nowadays, they don't give you the books anymore. So now I'm like, how do you go to school and not get books to where you take books home? It's all a copy of this, copy of that. So it's hard to really grasp the stories when you just read it on a piece of paper and answer the questions. So the history of Juneteenth and of Black folks, I think we need to educate ourselves and stop being told what our story is and trying to educate ourselves and find out our story. And then not our, but your story. It's part of that too.